Looks like the king's very sombre today. All in black but still holds his head high for a condemned man. It looks a little rough around the edges. It seems only 68 of the 135 judges have turned up. Broadshaw, head judge, has had a hat made out of metal for protection. He needs it. We'll have more in the courtroom after this section.
Are all the judges here? There are supposed to be 135, but we seem a bit short. Where is Thomas Fairfax?
He was stupid enough to turn up here. Anyway, this charge shouldn't even be taking place.
In that case, we had better get on. First, to read out the charges. Charles, you were trusted with a limited power to rule accordingly to the laws of England and to use that power for the good of the people. You have stolen the freedom of the people, taken away the power of Parliament and made war against the country. You are guilty of all treasons, murders, burnings and damages and mischiefs that took place in the wars. How do you plead?
This court has no legal right to try me. You have no power over me. I'm much more important than you are. This is an absolute outrage. I will plead neither guilty nor not guilty. This is a big joke.
Boo! Shut up, you idiots! We're not getting anywhere. We'll come back on Monday to see whether he's changed his mind.
Day 2.
Well, yesterday was certainly an interesting day. The king refused to plead, but there were still few spectators,
as most are at church.
Let's see what the king has to say.
Since today, the king has to plead.
Charles, how do you plead to the charges laid against you?
Plead? Plead? Yes, I plead. I plead for that is, I care about the freedoms of England more than any of you do.
We're having this trial by the authority of the Commons of England. This is what the people want. The people have always been the ones to call your ancestors to account.
I deny that. Show me one precedent, just one time when this has happened before.
The point is not to be debated by you.
The Commons of England was never a court of law.
Confess or deny the charges. Confess or deny the charges.
Who gave me the right to put me on trial?
I've had enough. I'll take him away.
Day 5.
The last 2 days have been pretty boring, as the king still refuses to plead and was removed in 5 minutes.
We have also seen a few witnesses
who claim to have the king has asked the King of Scots to invade England.
I know this isn't going exactly to plan, and that some of you are having second thoughts about whether this is the right thing to do. So we'll hear more evidence against the king today so that you can be convinced of his wickedness. Call the first witness.
I do solemnly swear to tell the truth and the whole truth, but nothing but the truth. So help me God.
What do you have to say about King?
I was in Oxford when the Civil War broke out in 1642. He was the one who started it. I saw him raise his battle flag. It's that monster's fault.
Thank you, madam. Call the second witness.
I do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
What do you have to say about the king?
I was in the king's army to start with, but I had to change sides when I saw how he treated his prisoners. He was evil. He cut them up and tortured them. It was just wrong. Nobody deserves to be treated that way.
Thank you. Call the third witness.
I do solemnly swear to tell the truth, and nothing but the truth. I was the king's servant then, and I had to take the messages between the king and his nephew. He was trying to raise another army to attack the parliament, and he was putting together a peace settlement at the same time. He's a dirty double crosser.
Thank you, madam. I think we've heard enough of this.
Day 7.
So it's verdict day. Will the majority vote the death sentence?
All prison.
tension is running high in here.
Paul sure looks a bit nervous.
Let's hear the sentence.
Charles, as promised, you may make your speech to the persons assembled.
Actually, I'd like to speak to all the members of Parliament. I've got a plan for peace to put to them.
You may not speak to them.
In that case, I would like to say the following words in my defence.
The time for defence is now past. You may say nothing more. The verdict will now be read out. We find you guilty of all the charges. It's the duty of the King to call Parliament regularly, and you haven't done this. You've attacked the basic freedoms of the people of this country. Therefore, this court does judge that you, Charles Stuart, a tyrant, traitor, murderer, and public enemy of the people, shall be put to death by the severing of his head from his body. This execution will take place on January the 30th, next Tuesday. Take him away.
Scene 2, Charles's death, action.
Execution day.
This is the death sentence for Charles.
And here's the man who made it all happen.
Cromwell. So, what are you going to do when the king's dead?
Make England a better place.
Do you believe that killing the king was the right option?
Yes, I think I do.
Why did you go to so much trouble just to have this done?
He is a dangerous man, and if he was allowed to live, then someone else bad could have happened.
The king doesn't seem to be shivering, even though it looks frightfully cold today.
Here comes the chopper.
Have some roast lamb. Very change. Thanks.
Amen.
Stop me, you priest.
Take his body away so his head off the barrel.
All very silent. Let's see what Thomas Fairfax's wife has to say.
Do you agree with your husband that the death was wrong?
Yes, I do.
Are you going to mop up his blood for good luck?
Yeah.
Will you be wearing black for the rest of the week?
Yes.
That's all for now.
Let's continue mourning.